This is One-on-One. We're joined by Judith Sheft, who is Associate Vice President, Technology Development at NJIT. Good to see you, Judith.
Thank you. Good to be here, Steve.
Part of the wonderful group of people here at NJIT that have welcomed us, but also taught us about some important things going on. There are a couple programs I want to ask you about and ask what the direct connection is to the city of Newark and how the city benefits. There's something called the upSKILL program. What is that?
So upSKILL is a grant that we received from the Federal Department of Labor and Workforce Development to help us take and retrain out-of-work IT and STEM professionals to get them the
STEM, science, technology,
engineering, and math.
Okay, go ahead.
To get them the skills they need so they can get back into the workforce. As you know, there's been a lot of dislocation in the workforce, things in the financial services industry, other things in the pharmaceutical industry. We want people to get the skills so that they can employ them and get back to work here in New Jersey.
But bring that back to Newark, though, Judith. How does that particularly benefit residents in the city of Newark?
So some of the academic partners who are participating on the grant are NJIT, which is here in Newark, Rutgers, Newark campus, and Essex County Community College. So residents are able to participate in taking the training right here in Newark and hopefully get employed with some of the big employers here in the city of Newark.
So interesting, as we've talked to people about, the connection between higher ed and the community itself, in this case, the city of Newark. When it comes to opening up opportunities in the fields of science and technology, that is a big responsibility that you and your colleagues see, is it not?
Absolutely, because we really want to make sure we understand from the employer's perspective what are the skills they need, and then we want to make sure that we're training people, both our undergraduate students, our graduate students, as well as people who are unemployed, to help them get the skills they need so they can get back to work and help with the resurgence of Newark.
And real quick, STEM jobs are, in terms of sectors and in terms of what parts of the economy that are relatively hot, still pretty hot.
Absolutely.
Because?
Because IT impacts all the job activities. You've got IT in life sciences, advanced manufacturing, financial services. Everybody's using IT skills. Even the little small startup companies need people who have IT skills to help them move ahead with their activities.
One of the keys that we've often talked about is networking, building relationships. Is it actually called Brick City, which people don't realize sometimes Newark is called Brick City. Brick City meetups. What are Brick City meetups?
So meetups in general are groups of people who get together to talk about different topics. And Brick City Tech Meetup gets together on a periodic basis, once or twice a month, to talk about different technology topics. Sometimes they've hosted the meetings here at NJIT. Sometimes they've hosted them in downtown Newark at the Converge co-working space. And they might have a discussion on strategic alliances, or they might get together one time to talk about programming languages, because we really want to let people know from a tech perspective, you don't have to go to New York City to enjoy the technology ecosystem. You can have that right here in Newark.
You talked about, before we got on the air,
Yeah.
you talked about the fact that New York does some things like this. Are we competing with New York in this way?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Make that clear.
So there's a lot of meetups that go on in New York City, and we want the same amount of activity happening here in Newark, because we've got the same ecosystem in terms of transportation. It's easy to get to. You can move around the city. So we want to let people know you can come to lots of different activities, whether it's our business incubator at the EDC, whether it's...
The EDC is the Economic...
Enterprise Development Center.
Let me ask you about that. Mm-hmm. That whole Enterprise Development Center, there are 90+ businesses doing what?
Doing what? They are in all sorts of fields. We've got companies who are in medical device area, drug development, cybersecurity, e-learning. We've got a couple construction companies, consulting companies.
And what are you doing for them?
What are we doing for them? We are helping them move their businesses forward. We're making connections for them to kind of link back to what you had asked about earlier. The other day I got a call from a company who said, hey, I'm working on a breath test. The company is Mensana Research. They have breath technology where they can analyze your breath to determine different disease states. He wants a connection because he'd like to study animals. So we make the connection for him with Rutgers Newark and some of their animal lab facilities. So it's connections, it's helping them make their businesses move forward, whether it's financial resources or other alliance partners.
When you got into higher ed as an academic, did you envision that you would be involved in networking, relationship building, collaborations, or collaborating to this degree? Because that's not traditional academia.
Right. So my career before I got into academia was I spent time at AT&T in their semiconductor division. So I developed strategic alliances for AT&T's microelectronics.
But your training by background is in?
Mathematics.
Okay. But that's very precise and clear.
Yes.
And relationship building, collaborating is not.
Right. And so you're right. It becomes something totally different. And so you have to say, I'm doing marketing things. So sometimes I'll talk
marketing and mathematics.
Yeah. No, but sometimes I'll talk to companies in the incubator and they'll tell me something they've done and I'll say, this could be a press release. And they'll look at you like, a what? And I'll say, you need to market yourself. You need to let people know what you're doing.
So interesting.
Yeah.
The other piece that connects to this is, students who come to NJIT or any other great institution that teaches science, technology, math, engineering, but I'm curious about this. Is it a competition that teaches students not just the technical side of being successful, but they're competing to do what in business?
So we've been funded from Capital One Bank along with some other partners to put on the Newark Innovation Acceleration Challenge.
The Newark Innovation
Acceleration Challenge. And so there's 2 tracks to it. So we invite college students from NJIT, from Rutgers, from Essex County Community College to submit business ideas for plans that they would like to pursue. And they're judged on a variety of criteria. And the winners then participate in a summer Lean Accelerator program where we get them out of their comfort zone talking to prospective customers. So it's not just tell me about what you want to build, it's actually go talk to some customers and find out what they think about your business idea and how you want to modify it. I mentioned there's 2 tracks to the competition because there's a student track as well as a community track. So we've had individuals from the Newark community who participate in the competition as well.
What do they take away from this? A few seconds left. What do these students take away?
They take away learnings that they're going to be able to apply should they decide to pursue the businesses, as well as learnings that they can use in other business activities.
All happening right here at NJIT.
Absolutely.
In the heart of the city of Newark. That's why people, when they say it's a college town, what goes on there, that's what it is. Judith Sheft from NJIT, I want to thank you for joining us. Good things happening over here.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you shared them with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was great.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by New Jersey Institute of Technology, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, Audible.com, Barnabas Health, TD Bank, Josh S. Weston, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. This program has been made possible in part by the Fidelco Group.